Well, when I started this journey from my diagnosis of cancer, I started with some thoughts from my hospital bed. There's some things that you can know intellectually, and then there's a difference between things you think you know and things you know, that get washed into your soul through experiencing things in a different way. This whole roller coaster of cancer, some of the best things have been about just having that things I know washed into my soul. And one of them, which has been a decision, has been thankfulness. And the other one has been hope. The ontological indestructibleness of hope. Because to fully despair, you would have to be certain of everything, and we can't be in that position. There's a commentary on Lord of the Rings where one of the commentators says about despair just being a simple mistake. There's just stuff that really resonated with me, and the whole cancer experience has been an opportunity to kind of push that idea and experience it to the next level. It's been rewarding. I'm sitting in my new basement. At the minute, our house has just been pretty much gutted. So coincident with my cancer diagnosis, we got approved a mortgage just before that. If my cancer had been diagnosed a couple of weeks earlier, I don't think we would have got the mortgage approved. But the timing has been really interesting. So watching my house be gutted as preparation for a new capacity, it's almost been like a metaphor for the process I'm going through, or want to get out of this experience. It's like a new capacity for hope, for compassion, for generosity. To recover from this and be a bigger person inside. With more love to give. We're able to extend hospitality. There's a story, Buddhist story, I think, about a man from the old man from the frontier. But I think it's from the Han people, or I can't remember the people group, but they're just up on the edge of China and Mongolia. There's a place where they're really dependent on horses. So the old man from the frontier is this horseman, and he's got a mare, and he's fortunate among most people. But then his mare breaks loose, and he loses his horse. He loses his source of protection. And the people console him in his time, saying it's so unfortunate. And he retorts that you don't know yet whether this is fortunate or unfortunate. And then the next week, the mare returns and she brings with her a stallion, and the people congratulate him on his good fortune. And he says, you don't know yet whether this is for good fortune or evil fortune, I just don't know. And he prospers, and the mare has foals, and they become more wealthy. And then one day his son's out with the stallion. The stallion is startled, rears, and he's thrown off the horse, and he breaks his leg. And the people console him again. He says, well, you don't know what's for good fortune or bad fortune. And just the following week, his province goes to war, and all men who are fit and able go off to fight the war with their horses. And only 1 out of every 10 returns. But his son is spared from battle because of his broken leg. And so what looked like it was misfortunate turns out to have saved his son's life. And so the story goes on and on and on. And the point from, I guess from a Buddhist perspective, is ultimately everything's, I don't know, meaningless. I'm not sure what it means from a Buddhist point of view, but it's, the goal is detachment. I think it's the truth of the story is in similar stories in the Jewish and Christian traditions. The story of Joseph is one that springs to mind particularly. After a string of dreams and Joseph being annoying and telling his brothers his dreams, he gets sold into slavery, and by a long convoluted route he ends up second most powerful man in the ancient world. And his brothers, in the middle of famine, turn up on his doorstep looking for him to provide them food, and they don't realise who he is. And after testing them for a bit, he finally can't bear it any longer, and he says, I'm your brother. They're terrified. And he said, oh, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. There's those true truths come together, the unbreakableness of hope, and the way things are constantly reframing. And ultimately there is an ultimate framework for everything. But wherever that is, hope will survive to that point. It's bigger than all the possibilities, and it can contain them all and reframe them all. Of course, in Christian tradition, the biggest reframing is of the worst injustice to happen to a good man who's crucified for loving people, for bringing them home. In his political experience, he sent him to the gallows, tortured him to death. And yet, hope completely reframes it. Possibility that there's something bigger than this whole framework breaks through. So I'm actually quite looking forward to this as an experience, to come through this and use it as a springboard to bless more people. And this basement will be a reminder, as will 7-inch scar I got.
What's the operation? In layman's terms.
It's called RPLND. I'll put a link in the description. I've still got a lot of necrotic material in my gut, and well, my abdominal cavity that needs removed, and also lymph nodes that will need to be removed, and my right testicle. So it's a fairly big operation. So we go in behind all my gut. Just to make sure, minimizing risk of cancer reoccurring.
I'm shaking. Can't hold this thing still, sorry. You done?
I didn't know where I was going to end this. I think that's probably as good a place as any.
You have to do something like, I don't know.
To be continued.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to press stop now then. See ya.